Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals, is bringing our audio audience. This is the Black Alert segment of the Fire Zone. Black Alert segment of the Fire Zone. Oh, well, we'll have a little technical issue here. Give me a few seconds to correct it. Okay, again, this is the Black Alert segment of the Fire Zone. Welcome. Okay, where are we at here? Oh, here we go. Okay, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about thought pressure. This is thought pressure 4, form. Brothers and sisters, as I've been telling you, if you've been following this little series of thought pressure, I'll go over briefly that we explained that thought is force, thought is pressure spread out, force is pressure. That's the way bulletproof vests work, to disperse the force so that it's not so much force in one place, but it's spread out. So it's still force, just spread out. So it's not in one point, it's spread over multiple points, so therefore it's not fatal. So you need force for your body, to energize your body, to move your body. And the only way you move your body is by thought. So thought and force must be the same. That's the most basic way of explaining that, brothers and sisters. Let's see here. That's the most basic way of explaining that. But anyway, you can review my previous presentations to get a little more detailed explanation of that, if that troubles you or confuses you. Anyway, brothers and sisters, so we're going to talk about, like I said, this is the fourth iteration of it. So we're going to talk about thought pressure, how it applies to you, what it means. First, I want to talk about a couple of things. Now for you, you with those who are claimed to be followers or adherents or sympathizers or whatever of Elijah Muhammad and Master Farad Muhammad? Well, you was taught that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. Now, if you recall that teaching, and you believe it, then why are you still talking? Why are you still talking? Because unless you know the mathematics of Islam, you don't know a damn thing. Because he said Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. And can be proven in no limit of time. So if you don't know the mathematics, then you don't know the Islam. You don't know it. You're just talking. So why are you talking? You should be listening. That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk. See, they out there talking, we this and we that, and like Farrakhan. He don't talk mathematics. He talk philosophy. Philosophy, by definition, is maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. That's why they call it philosophies. Don't call it truth. Like in mathematics, you have theories and you have facts. Like evolution is a theory. I mean, they have a lot of information that suggests that's what happened, but they have no proof. They have many theories. See? So until they can definitively prove it, it remains a theory. See? That's the same thing with religions. The only difference in religion is that they tell you it's facts because they intend to mislead you. See, because they want to be the vicegerent between God and you. And so they listen to God and tell you what to do, you see, because they know. See, and they have to tell you, and you have to obey them and support them and so forth. It's a scam. Because every religion on the planet right now is philosophy. Attempt to explain how things work, how we came to be, how the universe, why the universe exists, so forth, so on. You know, what's the meaning of life? They're all theories, they're all philosophies that none of them can be proven. Because none of them are realities. If they are realities, how come you can't bring something in existence to operate on those principles that you say that your religion is based on? How come you can't bring some existence operate on those principles? Because the only reality is mathematics, and you can bring in things into existence to operate on mathematical principles. You can't bring anything into existence, right, that operates on any other principles but mathematics. You can't bring in a Buddhist car. You can't bring a Hindu airplane. You can't bring a Christian fuel. See? Because they're just philosophies. See? They're attempts to explain what's going on. But they tell you, no, this is a fact. See? See? In order to mislead you, to trick you. Because they can't prove anything they're saying, and you can shut them down immediately if you ask them to prove it. They say, no, you just got to believe. Well, all of them tell you got to believe. So somebody's lying. All of them tell you just have to have faith and believe. But they're all telling different things, contrary in many cases, right, in direct contrast to everybody else. But they tell you, yeah, they're the truth. Now somebody's lying. Now if there's 4 major religions on the planet, that means at least 3 of them, 3/4 of them are lying. Totally lying to you. Totally. So which one are you in? Which one of the 4 is telling the truth? All of them could be lying. But we know at least 3 of them have to be. But 3/4 of the people on the planet is following 3/4 of these philosophies, and some of them put their whole life, right? Invest their whole life on it. And we know it's a lie. 3/4 has to be a lie. Maybe all of them are lie, but we know at least 3/4 have to be a lie. So if Christianity is true, that means Hinduism, Buddhism, and what's the other one? Hindu, Buddhism, Judaism. They have to be absolute lies. They have to be absolute lies. See? Or if Buddhism is correct, then Hinduism, Christianity, And they have to be absolute lies. But you got 3/4 of people on the planet believing in them. That means 3/4 of people on the planet are absolutely insane because they believe in a reality that don't exist. They put their faith in whole philosophy, whole meaning of life on philosophies that don't exist. That's not real. Do you understand that, brother and sister? So what category do you fall into? Which one of them are you in? See, which one are you in? Well, you should be in the one that you can prove, but can you prove yours? Because that's how you get a test. If you can't prove yours, then you're in that one of those categories, and you can't prove any of them. The only one that you can prove is mathematics. Only one you can bring something into existence and say be and it is. That's the only one you can do that with. You can't show me anything that operates off Hindu principles. Any kind of vehicle, computer, anything operates off of Buddhism, Hinduism, Christian principles. None of them, not one of them. See? And don't think that, okay, we try and explain to you the angel. Angel unlocks all of this. Unlocks the Bible. It's the 7 seals on the 7 seals on the Revelations called the angel. It's 22 chapters divided by 7, which is pi, circle, full circle. Is that a coincidence? 22 chapters divided by 7 is a fraction for pi, which is completion, full circle. But don't think because, brothers and sisters, that these people, because they don't know the angel, they don't know what they're talking about, they don't know what's going on. Oh, they know what's going on. I think most of them know what's going on. They just don't understand the angel, they have the full knowledge of it, right? But you don't have to know anything about the bank to rob it. All you need to know is where the money is. And they robbing you. See? So they don't know the Bible, but they know enough of the Bible, because I'm convinced that a lot of them know these basic truths, because you don't need the sealed Bible, the unsealed Bible, to see some of these things. Like the story about Jerusalem surrounded by armies. When you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, you know its destruction is near. Now that's a clear statement. That's a clear statement. That statement right there should open your eyes. I'm convinced these people know some of these things, but the point is, depends on where you are. If you find out that that demons are bad and they're going to be destroyed and they weaken everything, and then you find you're a demon, what's your reaction going to be? What's your reaction going to be? You already know that. Already you're on the wrong side of the fence. You're an enemy to God. So what are you going to do? Because there's no salvation for you. So you can just survive off yourself or go to war and hope you win. I'm convinced some of these people know these things, because some of these things in verses that you don't need a angel key to unlock it. It's totally clear, like the one about Jerusalem surrounded by enemies. And they tell, Jesus coming, wait a minute, it didn't say when we see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, that their redemption is nigh, or their wounding is nigh, or their defeat is nigh. No, it said destruction. That means you're wiped out of existence. That's what destruction means. You're taken out of existence. And that cannot happen if false Israel is the true seed of Abraham. That cannot happen. And who owns Jerusalem? Jerusalem is the capital of what? So it's talking about them. Saying they're about to be destroyed. Now how can you miss that one? Some of these things they see, they understand. See, some of these things they see, they understand. But from their point of view, right, they're going to offer themselves or try to offer you. See? So we're going to talk about thought pressure, a brief analysis of it. Because just having thought makes things happen, but thought gives things form. And what kind of form will it give? See, because for you, your reality, your personal reality, is based on your thought waves. Your personal reality is based on your thought waves, how powerful they are. Your personal reality, I guess, say it again, is based on your thought wave. So the reality you find yourself in is a result of your personal reality. I'm not talking about the general reality because we stuck all here stuck on Master's plantation. But your personal reality, your personal, is based on your your thought pressure, your thought pressure waves. See, because those who are studying the angel, see, they're changing their reality as they're studying. See, and they're moving forward in time, right? Because that's the reality they're creating their paradise. So they move forward in time. They move forward in time. They may not realize it, but they move forward in time because they're changing the world to meet their specifications. Slowly but surely, pretty soon they're going to get a big energy burst where it's going to be dramatic, where it's going to have a dramatic change. But right now, they work with what they have. Like they say, the Quran says, if there's little rain, right, that suffices. But if there's a lot of rain, that's even greater. So he says a little rain right now. See, so their lives are changing. Their minds are moving forward into the future. So they're changing. See, and one day you're gonna look around, and they're gonna be gone in their paradise, while you still sitting here scratching your ass, talking about, I got Mr. Black Man, I got the Quran, I got. You see, I'm trying to revive Prophet Muhammad's empire. I'm trying to revive Elijah Muhammad's FOI. See, those were relevant during their time period. It's just like the growing season, the winter season, right? Fall, you got this season. So they're relevant during their season, but when their season's over, they're not relevant anymore. It's a new season coming in. So God says he's going to make all things new, a new season coming in. So you keep holding on to the old ones because the thing is that you understand that God he's creating time. He's creating the foundation of the promised land. See, he's laid the foundation, but you have to build your own room in it. He laying the foundation, but you have to build. The foundation is basically primarily is the promised land. Let me make a little note because I definitely don't want to. I definitely don't want to lose my train of thought here. Here. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to try to remember. The promised land. See, Farrakhan tell you not going anywhere. You can't build a paradise here in America. The topsoil is almost gone. They're telling you that they're taking all fertilizer. What do you think they mean when they say they get most of their fertilizer from Russia? Now they're not going to get it anymore since they've put sanctions on Russia. So they're not going to get the fertilizer. They talking about topsoil. If America had rich topsoil, they wouldn't have to get fertilizer from Russia. And they already tell you they're already in a drought and tell you going to be food shortages. So if they don't have, they can't grow anything because they're not getting fertilizer from Russia. You see? So how in the hell is this going to be the paradise of milk and honey when it's nearly a barren land now? They have to bring in resources from other countries, Africa and Russia and everything, just to grow anything here. Let me get back to my actual train of thought here. So, Master Muhammad is laying the foundation, but you have to build your own room in it. And so you find those that listen to the angel, they're in the process of building a room. You understand? They get, see how you say it, because we're doing leasing, we're not doing that stuff in the hereafter. You'll be leasing, paying rent bills. No, that's bull. You'll be doing stuff like that. All that stuff is past. See, because you own your own place. See, and based on your ranking. What's your ranking? Your rank would be your pressure waves. The greater your pressure waves are, right, the higher your ranking would be. You see? That'll be up to you. See? But nobody's looking down at anybody else. You don't look down on your feet. You don't look down on your toes. You don't look down on your behind. All of it's necessary, right? But your brain, right, operates the whole thing. And your ranking will depend on your brain power, your pressure, see? Your pressure waves. So you start developing that right here. And people, they're preparing, see, and eventually, because you have Master Prophet Muhammad, he's laying the foundation, he's moving. Where is he landing? It's in the future. He's building out future for us. The future don't come by itself. You have to create it. You have to create the future. Time just doesn't come by itself. We create time. We're the creators of time. Time is transforming energy from one form to another. If there's no transformation, there's no time. There's no time. Energy just flowing, that's not time. It has to be converted energy from one form to another. And that's what Master Muhammad is doing. He said, I'm going to make all things new. In the process of transforming form from one energy from one form to another. Where you get energy from? Where you get energy? Energy is not created, it's not destroyed. So he's taking energy, because right now, who has commands of energy on this planet? Satan does. He's the God of this world. See? America, Britain, all these European countries, they are the control of the energy of this world right now. They give the energy the form that it has right now. They've given the energy the form that it has right now. Let me say it again. They gave it the form that it has right now. See? So Master Muhammad is taking that form, right, and he's converting it, right, to form for us, our reality. And that's what Suleiman is his partner in doing that. That's what said be two. See? He's working with all the nations. I'm working with my people. That's why I called refer to me as a messenger of the covenant, the high priest. See, I'm preparing you so you can time travel, so you can give energy, your form, your personal form, because that'd be your reality, that'd be your future, your paradise. So he's laying the foundation, but you have to build your own room. You have to build your own room in it. You have to build your own room. You have to give form. And that's what you're doing right now, because you start studying, your mind start changing, you start and everything, and right now you're in the process of doing that right now. And the thing is Master Muhammad is moving quickly. See? And Suleiman, he's here, right, to keep pace, to show you how to keep pace. Because if you lost in this reality, you're going to die with this reality. So my job is here is keep, so you can see what you need to do to keep up. But some of you are falling so far behind, you won't be able to keep up. Some of you are falling so far behind, because I can't stay and wait for you. I'm not going to stand and wait for you. See, I'm telling you, I'm moving forward. And some of you are not playing games, so you see me moving, I'm getting further and further away from you. People that are with me, they're getting further and further away from you. Pretty soon, they'll have their room in a new foundation, right? And you'll be wasting away. Remember, he's taking energy from this world to convert his world. I'm taking energy from this world, right, to give you a new mind back. To take the mindset of this world and transfer energy to the mindset of the new world. That's what giving it form. See? So if you're not the result of the transformation, then you're the material used for the transformation. Right? Let me put that very simple to you. Right? You got a house there, you want to build a new house there, so you got to tear the house down, build a new house. So either you could be the result of that process, or you could be the fuel of that process. That's why the Quran talks about you be the fuel for the fire. So you the old house that's being torn down, destroyed, so you can take that material and build a new house. That's up to you. Because we're not going to worry about you. We're moving on. It's springtime now. It's spring thaw. We move fast. And the sky is moving fast. You see what's happening around you. Look, you already see what's happening. What form is the world taking right now? Is it taking the form that we've been talking about, or the form that Farrakhan's talking about, the form that Sal's talking about, the form that the devil's talking about, the form anyone's talking about? What form is it taking now? We've been talking about this for over 30 years, and what form is it taking? Is it day by day our form coming into existence? Is our form not coming to existence? Is this world not being torn down? Is not what we've been telling you come to existence? Anybody you listen to, they don't know what the hell what they're talking about. Why? Because they're confused. Because their mind is being changed. They're taking the energy from their mind and use that energy to create new minds. See? So they're losing the control and energy they have, right? Because we're taking it from them. So they're crumbling. See? You have it, you have to take them someplace else. So we're going to go in and we're going to talk about giving. See, because just having energy is one thing. You have to give it form. You have to know how to give it form. So we're going to tell you how to do that. See? We show you how to do that. To give it your form. See? Because we're not going to tell you how to do things. We'll tell you what to eat, what not to eat. That's up to you. See? If you want to eat pork, you go and eat pork. And it's going to destroy you. If that's when you want to be that stupid. Nobody's not going to be a police force in here after telling you what to do, what not to do. We won't have that. We never had that before. Right? See? So we're going to talk about that because you have to understand consequence. See? So we allow you to do whatever you want to do. Just think about it. When Dr. Shabazz came on the scene, he saw this coming down 50,000 years. He saw it down 50,000 years in the future. He saw what the end result would be. Now he could have went to war with other planets. He could have went to war with other tribes if he wanted to. He could have went to war with them. And if he went to war with them, our situation would be a little different because if there been less people on the planet, that means the energy deprivation would have been less severe because you take that much energy that's available and you divide it by how many people there are. See? So in other words, if you got 1 million units of energy, you got 1 million people, each person has one unit energy. But if you got 1 million units of energy and you only got 1,000 people, right? That means each one gives 100,000 units. That's wrong. 10,000 units of energy. So the less people are, the more energy each person has. So he could have went to war and wiped out all other tribes, and then we might have not. But we don't do things that way. We don't do things that way. See? I mean, there's times where we have eradicated the whole population, but not like that, not for that reason. Because they're directly under attack. You see, they're attacking us. It's like when gender war, right? And the fire war before that. See? So, there were things we could have done. We don't do things like that. So in other words, I'm not saying you're going to be anybody eating pork in here because there ain't going to be no swine to eat. I'm just trying to tell you, right, that nobody's going to monitor you. I'm never not going to do it. I want to live my life. I'm going to spend all the time seeing what you're doing. Where's you doing? You're not supposed to be doing it. You think the Master from Muhammad's going to be doing that? No. See? Because the point is that, first of all, if you're an ice person anyway, you're not going to survive there anyway. Because the worst enemy to ice is the sun. The worst enemy to evil is the truth. And now right now, we just did 6,000 years of winter, right? Was there no sun, but now the sun's on the scene. See? There was no one to oppose, right? The winter. I mean, there was problem. Muhammad came along, right? And he was like a star. He had enough light, right, to slow them down for 1,000 years. You see? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So now the sun is out and they're melting. See? They're melting away because they was winter people, 6,000 years of winter. But during that time, there was no opposition. So they gave this reality form. They gave it form. And we lived in that form they gave it. But now, a new form is coming online. Master Muhammad is here. Suleiman's here, right? And they're taking that form, they're taking energy of this civilization, right, to bring in a new one. And that's what you see, that's why this one's failing. See? But you have to prepare your mind for it. So if you go there, if you got there, if you didn't ease in like you're a demon or something, you wouldn't last long. See? You'd be like a chunk of ice, right? Sneaking its way into a hot frying pan. you won't last very long. So we're going to go into our main topic, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to take a slight break here, and then we'll move into our main topic. Okay, brothers and sisters. Back. Let's see here. Okay, have an energy. You have to give it form. See? First you have to have energy, then you have to give it form. See? So, for the last 500 years, we didn't have enough energy to maintain ourselves. Let me just lay it out first. We don't have enough energy to maintain ourselves. Energy deprivation. See, we've been 50,000 years in that situation. And it came in 1948. See, energy deprivation. It means all the energy that used to be here is out there now. Now the universe is contracting, so energy is coming back in waves approximately every 50 years. So we went through a period of energy deprivation where we didn't have enough energy to maintain ourselves, maintain a civilization. Right? But Dr. Yakub modified some of us, a stripped down version of us that didn't require as much energy. So they had energy to maintain, to rule, to maintain civilization. It was a bad civilization, but bad water is better than no water. You need water to live. See? And that would last, right, until we got enough energy to maintain ourselves. And then they would be crushed out of existence. But just having energy is no good. You have to give it form. See, and we the ones that give it form. We the ones that say being it is. See, that's what it means like giving form. You have to give it form, being it is. We the ones that say being it is. Because we made everything you see in existence. See? I mean, they had power. The Adam, Caucasians, they call, if you understand the scriptures, right? The Chaldean, it calls the Chaldeans, the land of merchants. So that's what they call Caucasians in the scripture. They call them Chaldeans, a land of merchants. See, that's capitalism and so forth. That's how they refer to Europeans as Chaldeans or Chaldeans. So they gave this world form. This you see right now, it's the form they gave it. They informed. They used a lot of our energy to do it, but they gave this world form, and that's what form you see. And you see what effect that form had on us. See, because we was part of the material they gave it form. We weren't part of the beneficiaries of it. We was part of the material they gave it form. Like you said, you have wood. You take wood. That's material to build a house. right? But the world's not benefiting from it. It's just material that used to benefit. Other people would benefit from it. So we use the material, right? Like I was saying initially, right? You can be the material of the new reality, or you can be the beneficiaries of the new reality. Now, a lot of these people are going to be the material. These people, oh, I'm Elijah. I got message black man. I got fall America. See, they don't have anything. We're not taking anything from Elijah, but he had his time. He had a season to present what he had to do, and he did it. Prophet Muhammad had a season, 1,000 years. See, 1,000 years. And then now they're irrelevant. They think they're going to revive Prophet Muhammad's empire. They've been waiting a long time. It's never going to happen. That's past. But they can tell, oh man, this is the final book. And, we have all the books, trillions of books that we wrote in the past. Those of you Elijah Muhammad followers that you claim, or Master Prophet Muhammad followers that tell you these books been written every 25,000 years forever. So we're having those books. Trillions of them. Where are they? They lost in time because they was for that time period they were, and then once that time period was over, they was no longer relevant. Just like what happened to Abraham's books. He walked with God, talked with God. You don't think he had a book? He built Mecca, Medina, the pilgrimage. What did he do that with? But where's those books? Where are they? So they lost in time. They're going to be they lost in time, because that's what happened when you lost in time. That means, by definition, right? You was the material. You were part of the material that used to develop the new time. Because the past is no longer exists. The past is the material that was used to build this present. The past was the material used to build this present reality. So if you lost in the past, that means you just the material used, right, to make this reality. And that's what's going on with the Sunni. Think about all these so-called religions. I'm kind of like backtracking a little bit here, right? But look at all these religions. I told you they're philosophies. Now, they was predominant 500 years ago. There was no challenge to them. If the challenge was from other religions. Religion was the force that ruled the day 600-700 years ago, right? The Europeans were all about religion, Catholicism. And they was at war with the Sunniism, right? Then you had Buddhism and Hinduism. That was the primary philosophy that ruled the day. But then what happened? Mathematics came on the scene and crushed them all, crushed every one of them. Because mathematics is the only true reality. It crushed them all. And they got low-grade mathematics, basic mathematics, but still enough to crush all those because they had no mathematics. They wasn't based on mathematics. It was based on philosophies. And even with this crude, pedestrian, crude, low-level mathematics, right? Basic mathematics, they were able to crush all those false religions. I don't have to say false religions. I just say crush all those philosophies, all those religions. I didn't say false. That's like saying, bad pork. That's like redundant. Pork is bad. You don't have to say bad pork. Is that good pork? So is it good religion? The animals don't have religion. Not one animal out there has a religion. But yet still, they do fine. They know exactly what to do. So they smarter than us. They use basic mathematics. See, mathematics, they're doing all this with basic mathematics. But they crushed all those religions out there because they were just philosophies. They were just philosophies. Attempts to explain things run by rip-off artists who's trying to tell you that they're real and they represent the God that those realities supposed to represent. Like the Pope, he was a vice-general of God. So he knew. He got direct from God. So you had to listen to the Pope. So he ruled over you. That was just like a Roman Empire 2.0. That's all it was. The Pope just became, Caesar just became the Pope. That's what it was all over the world. See? And then religion, and then mathematics came along and shut them all down. Had them all bound. That's what it says and it talks about the angel in Revelations, where they all was bound before the throne. Who was sitting on the throne? Satan was sitting on the throne. So you don't know any better. You think that's God. That's not God sitting on the throne. He said he had the book in his hand right there. Nobody could understand that book but one person. No one in heavens or earth. No one's in heavens or earth. No one's in heavens or under the earth. No one in heavens or earth or under the earth, right? That means that's everywhere. God's in one of those places, right? Couldn't understand that book. So if God's the one that wrote the book, how come he can't understand the book that he wrote? That's not God sitting on the throne. See, that's not God sitting on the throne. That's Satan on the throne because they had the book. They had the book. They just didn't understand it. So the Lamb took the book from them and he broke the seals. See? So this is Satan's reality. They gave form to it. And they used us as material to give it form. See? And they didn't get all of us. But like I said, they broke, they took, it said Satan is sitting on the throne. Jesus said Satan is God of this world. Jesus said Satan is the God of this world. He said it. So you don't believe him? And Satan told Jesus that when he confronted him in the desert, says, I have all the kingdoms. Did he say I have just some of the kingdoms except America or whatever? He said, no, I got all of them. See? So all you Christians out there and everything, you so-called black Christians, you better check yourself. They're lying to you about everything. You pray, that's why one reason they don't give God a name. You see? Because certain Satan, they work. Look at the works they're doing. Is these the works of the Jesus you claim you believe in, or the works of Satan? They said they would go out to steal, kill, and destroy. How did they get this country? They was gifted to them, or they steal it? See? Or did it happen just take a vacation, or did they kill them? Or did we come over on visa, or did they come over and destroy us? What should they do? All these things are simple. That's why I say these people, like these demons out here, all these people talking stuff, there's enough information in there in the sealed Bible to make it clear who everybody is. So they know. I'm convinced they know. But the point is, from their point of view, what they're going to do? We don't want them. So they go full speed ahead to deceive you, to confuse you, destroy you, or to prevent you, right, from ever coming and rule again. If they can do that, that'd be the best. See? They can keep you from coming back into rulership, keep you from using your brain, keep you from developing your brain power. See? Keep you from thinking. Because they transform you into a robot, but a Negro butt 400 years ago. From 1555 to 1619, so 64 years, they transfer you from Kunta Kinte to Toby, turn to a Negro butt. Thoughtless. Just, what I do, Master, program them, they do exactly what Master tell them to do. Stamp with Master's brand. See, my name is Toby Jackson. And you think that was a name. It's a brand. Because when they trade you to Richardson, Master Richardson, their name came Toby Richardson. And now you walk around those names so proudly. They're brands that's telling you who's on your last saved master. I want to get to the main point here. See? You have to get thought form. And like I said, all these so-called religions out here, right, they all crumbled before mathematics. All of them on their knees, every one of them. Sunni struggle, that was last to go down. Now Sunni is irrelevant. Sunniism. They're blowing themselves up and everything else into some vain hope of rebuilding Muhammad's presently irrelevant empire. That's what they're trying to do, trying to develop it. See, because they lost in the past. That means they're going to be fuel for the fire. What do you mean by fuel for the fire? Right? Because the fire is burning this reality to bring a new reality. And they're going to be the fuel for it. Like I said, either you're the material or you're the beneficiary. See? So you lost in time, that means you're the fuel. Or you're the material to be used. That's what lost in time means, brothers and sisters. Like I said, this reality is based on the material that they transformed from the past. I told you make time by transforming energy one form to another. So right now, the past, right? The past all around us, but now it's the energy. It's in the form of energy that we use to make this, that they use to make this present. And pretty soon, this present energy, this right now, we're in the process of taking this present energy and transforming it, right, unto our energy, to future energy, to our paradise. It's just transforming energy one form to another. That's what time travel is. That's what time is. Transforming energy one form to another. So right now, when you look around, the past, if you're lost in the past, that means you're the energy that they took, right, to bring this reality into existence. And all the stuff you see here now, right? If you're stuck in it, then you're the material that we're going to use to transform this energy, right, into a new form of energy. And those that study angel, they're in the process of doing it already. Because every time they study, every time they think about this, right, they're transforming, they're moving, they're transforming their mind, which results in transforming their whole reality. First, you have to transform your mind, because your reality reflects your mind. Your personal reality, even here, your reality you're in reflects the state of your mind, which reflects your pressure waves. See? Right? Even now, here. But see, you had weak pressure waves because you had energy deprivation. So now, you got to the point where now you're free of that, but now you frivolously using your energy for bullshit. NFL, NBA, going to concerts and everything else, still using it to develop your mind. So therefore, your condition is bad to worse, and you can't understand why. Just look into your brain, look into your mind, look at what you're thinking about. If you're thinking about bullshit, then you got bullshit reality. If you're thinking about nothing but NBA and NFL, then you got NBA, NFL reality. And you're talking to other people that talk the same old bullshit, they don't have nothing, you don't have anything. Because your reality is weak. Your brain is weak. Your brain waves are weak. So now your reality is weak. Your reality reflects the state of your brain. Your reality reflects the state of your mind. It reflects your brain waves, your pressure waves, your thought waves. So when you start studying angel, then you start changing your reality around you, because you change your mind. The more you study, the more you transform your mind, then you transform your reality. And eventually, your mind will be so powerful, right? You'll transfer its whole reality, and you'll be walking around, just like I said in the Quran, the disbelievers and the believers see each other, but one will be in hell and one will be in heaven. But they see each other. And part of the transformation, right, is going home. You got to put it all together, but you got to have enough brain power to know how to get home. You know, if you want to go to New York, you got to put some fuel in your car. You can't just sit there and wait. It's going to happen. Some G's going to put you there. You got to make preparation. You got to do things. You got to make change. You got to get a car, some type of transportation. You got to know direction. You got a lot of things you got to do, right? That takes energy to get there. So you transform energy to one form or another, because you're right here, and this is what you're in right now. So what you want to do is you want to transform your energy from being in Miami to being in New York. That's an energy transformation. So you got to do the things you need to transfer the energy from the form of the energy, the form it is that when you're in Miami, to the form it would be when you're in New York. I don't know if you understand that, brothers and sisters. That's mathematics. You just don't go there. You have to transform energy. You have to give it the form to make that transformation to go from Miami to New York. See? Then you have to have enough energy to stay there, to complete the transformation, or you go back to where you were before. Back to Miami. You're doing a transformation, brothers and sisters. See? And your personal way you do it, that's up to you. Like I said, in the hereafter, matter of fact, I'm just laying down the foundation, but you have to build your own room. See? So you got to start. You got to start making the transformation to go from here to there, to go from A to Z. To get from here to the promised land. See? But Farrakhan tell you, no, you stay here. Okay, we stay here. Where you're going to be, when this place is this energy, all the energy you see right here is going to be transformed, right? To the new reality. This reality will no longer exist in our new reality because we're going to make all things new. Then we're going to transfer all the energy into the form that we want it. Right now it's in the form they want it. All the energy right now is in the form they want it. We transform it into the form we want it. That means they will no longer exist because all the energy will be transformed into the form we want it. And so we have people in the process of doing that. See? But each individual has to transform in the form that they want it. See? But those things is, like Master Muhammad's laying the foundation. So you will be able to build on that foundation. If there won't be any foundation, it will be one foundation, his foundation. See? But I'm teaching how to build the rooms so you can build on his foundation. Because that's the only foundation there's going to be. Let's move into this, brothers and sisters. I talk a lot longer than I expected to, but I want to move into this. Okay. Now, these clowns out here talking about Islam. Like I said, if you don't know mathematics, Islam, you don't know Islam. So why are you talking? If you say Islam is mathematics, mathematics is Islam, then explain the math. Tell us explain the math that backs up what you're saying. That's about numerology. Oh, well, 7 means this, 3 means this. You know? What does 0 mean? That means how much brains you got, how dumb you are. So God did lines, if you can't represent the mathematical way, then you're a liar. You don't know it. See, because it says, why they call it the 5 pillars of Islam? Because it's the 5 fundamental principles of mathematics that Islam rests on. That's why pillars are something that supports something to rest on. And Islam is based on the 5 fundamental principles of mathematics, the 5 fundamental principles of the universe, because the universe is all mathematics. But you don't know the mathematics behind those pillars, do you? Because you don't know any mathematics, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. See? So you should shut up. Because all you do is confusing people, but that's all right. Your days of confusion are almost over. See? Because we're knocking your brains out. You're melting. You're fuel for the fire. You're going to be material that we take to make our new reality. So if you know mathematics, tell me what the 5 pillars, what's the mathematics? Because if Islam is mathematics, Islam must rest on 5 fundamental principles of your reality, 5 fundamental principles of the universe. So we're going to talk about them briefly, and then we're going to move on, brothers and sisters. Now they say it's 5 of them. Okay, the first one is consequence, because first you have to, let's say it's belief, right? You have to believe in it. They say, oh, you got to believe in Allah, but they don't know who Allah is. They can't point to you. How are you going to believe in something you don't know, you can't see, you never see, you don't know where it is, you can't touch it? How are you going to believe in something that's a mystery to you, that's invisible, that you never see, you never talk to anything? You see? You better think about that. Or you believe in Allah. Why should you believe in Allah? If you don't know who he is, you never seen him, you can't feel him, you can't touch him. So what do you believe in? You believe in a fantasy. You don't know if it exists or not. No, you believe mathematics, that's Allah. See? The Christians call the spirit, the embodiment, right? And the Holy Spirit. See, they're both supposed to be Allah, right? Well, mathematics is a spirit. But in our present time, like Master Muhammad is the person. He's the son. He's the personification. But mathematics is a spirit. That encompasses all things. That encompasses the heart of the Father, of the Son, everything. Encompasses everything. See, that's the spirit. So-called Holy Spirit is perfect. There's no imperfection in mathematics, none whatsoever. See, that's what you got to believe in. You got to believe in that. And most of you don't believe that. Because the devils don't believe it, because they don't believe in consequence. It says there's no fear. That's why it says there's no fear of God before their eyes. That means they don't fear it. See? That's why they're so dangerous, right? Until consequences catch up to their ass. See, now consequences caught up with them. That's the first principle, mathematical pillars of Islam. Understand consequence, understand every action has the opposite equal reaction. Judgment, consequence. That's the very nature of God, very nature of Allah. The very nature, consequence. Every action has an opposite equal reaction. Every action has opposite but equal reaction. Very fundamental nature. That's the first pillar. And all the rest of them follows after that. See? But most of you don't know this. 99.9% don't know this. See, because you say, oh, I believe in Allah. Well, okay, tell me who he is. Where is he? Where is he? Well, he's out there. Well, how do you know you believe in him then? How do you know he even exists? It's mathematics, brothers and sisters. And that's what the devils are ruling the world with, because it says they would receive God from God, right? And that's what they're whooping the world's ass with. Even though they make mission shed blood. And the second one, torque. Now I said, first of all, you have the first one, consequence. That's the seed to start giving it form. See, because now you start saying being it is. But first you have to have the other things to go with it. But first you have to have the thought. You understand? You have to start to begin the process. You have to have a fundamental. You have to rules, right? See, like a blueprint or something. And you know it's all based on what my actions are based on what consequence. If not based on that, it's doomed to fail. See? So the next one is torque. Okay, what is torque? See? That's another fundamental principle. That's the second fundamental principle. The first fundamental principle of the universe is consequence, period. That's the first pillar. The second one is torque. Because when you have something, energy that's spinning energy, right? It produces torque. Upright, a lifting force. That's why gyroscopes work. You can put them on there, it won't fall off. Say, why it don't fall off, man? Because it's got that torque, right? That keeps it erect. And that you need that. Because you want to give things form. Before you give form, you have to be steadfast. See? If the wind's blowing, it blows you along with it, then you're not doing anything. But if you can hold the wind back, that means you're giving form. You're changing the direction of the wind. See, you have an effect on the wind rather than the wind have an effect on you. See? So the more and how do you get that? The first you get by studying. The first you get by studying your mind. See? So understand mathematics, understand how mathematics, how the creation works. That's the first one. The second one is salats. Now some people probably ask, when hereafter, right? We won't use Quran to make salats. We have other means to do that if even necessary. See, because the point is, think about it. Salat is you reciting the Quran, the words of Allah. Because why we do that, right? It's like, say for instance, you walk around and, in the desert, right? You get dirty, right? Okay, so you have to find a pond and wash yourself off, right? But what if you live in a pond? You don't have to wash yourself off because you water around you all the time. So then hereafter, everybody will be talking on that level of the Quran, greater than that. So you'll be talking on that level. So you don't have to recite because you're talking on that level, your heart, and you're not going to have any negative frequencies around to affect your heart, to give it bad vibrations. All that's going to be gone. See? So you're going to talk on that level, just like on a level higher than the Quran is. So you may get your heart firm every word you speak and around other firm people. So your heart can be firm, many times firmer than you could even do. If you say the whole Quran every day, you still get your heart as firm as you're going to be in hereafter. So you won't have to do that anymore. You won't have to recite because you're talking, right? Because you're going to talk properly. You're going to talk mathematically. That's what firms your heart up. See, right now you're not doing that. So therefore you need to do the exercise, like I said. Right now you're in a desert. So man, you got to find a pool to wash stuff off every now and then. See, to keep clean. But if you live in the water, you don't need that anymore. Because you stay clean all the time. You won't need to do that. I mean, I know in the Bible I read somewhere, maybe I go Google it, it says, Jesus said, you don't have to pray. See? But you don't understand the meaning of prayer anyway, because your understanding of prayer is totally wrong than the proper meaning for it. But anyway, so anything that spins produces torque. And the greater spin, the greater torque, it means the more firm it is. So the thing is when you recite the heart, when you recite the Quran, what you do is you're affecting the heart. And the heart is a circulatory system. And so what happens is the more you recite, the more you firm up your heart. That means now you're firm. So that means instead of things being controlled by things around you, you're controlling things Instead of being controlled by things around you, you're controlling them because you're standing firm. Because if you're not standing firm, every little wind blows your way. So you're being controlled by the forces around you. Instead, you control those forces. If you stand firm, then you're controlling the forces around you. That's why you're giving it form. Because right now, people are not giving it form. Because they're being moved by every little wind, every breeze, all these little ice pickle people, winter people and everything. They're moved by that, so they're not firm. So they're not creating anything. Elijah Muhammad, firm your heart up, and you was creating. You was bringing something to existence. But Farrakhan came with this bullshit, Scientology and everything else. So now you flowing with the wind now. You're not firm. And you don't know anything about citing the Quran. You're out there doing those Sunni stuff. So therefore, you've been blowing with the wind instead of standing firm and affecting the wind. So you've been controlled by the wind instead of affecting the wind. You control other people because when they talk and everything, you're affected by them. Instead, you're being affected by them instead of affecting them. See? Because when you stand firm and you're putting out and your voice, because from your heart is from your voice going to be. Because if you're nervous, it's going to flow up in your voice. If you're nervous, your voice is going to crack. If you're afraid, your voice is going to crack. Because it shows there's a connection between the two. So you inculcate that. Because the point is, there's a voice connection between your voice and your heart. See? So you can reverse the process. So if you recite a book of like the Quran, where Allah is speaking in a very firm voice, then you put in that firmness, you're taking and reversing the process. So you take it and strengthen and firming up your heart by reciting it. See? So now your voice is strong, and so when you talk, it has more impact on people. So you're impacting them rather than being impacted by them. Hope you understand, bro, sisters. I'm going to talk more about this another time, but I'm going to briefly go through this, right, to show you, because this is the mathematics, the base of what Islam is rest on. And these clowns tell you, they know Islam, they don't know this. They never even tell you about it. They don't even talk about the 5 pillars. They talk about some kind of mystical, metaphysical way. They don't understand the mathematics behind it. They have no idea. It's the 5. These are 5. What I've told you so far, consequence, torque, is 2 of the 5 primary mathematical principles that the whole universe rests on. See, the Earth spinning right here is proves that axis that keeps it upright. It's the spin that does it. One spinning, it would flip over. It makes you upright. The more you do it, more upright you become. And firm. The third one, currents. They call it zakat. See? Currents. Okay, what's currents? The currents we have, remember all this is pressure. Torque, that's pressure. Because if you standing firm, you put pressure on everybody around you. Because you're not bending. See? And you're growing. So you putting pressure on everything around you. Consequence, that's pressure. Right? Currents, that's pressure. So this is a pressure differential. It's another aspect of pressure. All these things are consequences. One of the fundamental principles of pressure, right? Torque is one of the second principles of pressure, right? Currents is another fundamental principle of pressure because currents is a pressure differential. So in other words, if you have one greater pressure on one side, the other side, you're gonna get a wet current or wave to make an adjustment to a settled. See, that's what currents do. That's where waves come from. If it's equal on both sides, you won't get it. You won't get anywhere. You see still water, right? But what pressure? That's why sometimes you open a window in one party house and another part because the pressure is different. You're gonna get a breeze coming through your house. See, because pressure on one side of the house is lower than pressure on the other side, and high pressure always flows towards low pressure. High pressure always overwhelms low pressure. High pressure always dispels low pressure. High pressure always destroys low pressure. See? So what is zakat? Zakat is a process of giving those that have to those who have not. That's a pressure differential because you have greater pressure than those that don't, and you give it to them so you're trying to equalize as a current. Now I just said if you have a pressure with one side is more pressure on one side than the other, so you got a current flowing from the higher pressure to lower pressure, or you got a wave flowing from higher pressure to lower pressure. It's like when you throw a rock in a pond. At that point, when you throw the rock, there's a greater pressure right there. It has waves spread out to all the other part that wasn't affected by the stone. until all is equal. And then once it's all equal, you don't see any waves anymore. Everything's settled. So that's what zakat is. You're giving energy, you have more, and you give those who have less. Right? So you're building a current. See? So that stabilizes it. See, that's why Europeans, they have all these revolutions, all that kind of stuff, because they don't observe this principle. So next they know, they're taking from everybody, and everybody don't. They take that's another principle altogether. That's the balance, right? That gets back to the first consequence, right? See, I tell you, all these things are based on consequence. So in other words, if everybody gets the same amount of energy, that's a principle you need to become very intimate with. Everybody has the same amount of energy. There's no exceptions to that. You say, well, he's got $1 billion. No, he got just as much energy you have. You just don't understand it. See, he's doing a lot of negative consequences that you don't realize. Anyway, so here you are. You got it's like European civilization, like say the French Revolution. All the money was with the upper, what they call it, it's aristocrats and everything else. And so Mary Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." Next thing you know, they was eating them. They built a guillotine and started cutting their heads off because you had a current. So in other words, if okay, we all get $1,000 a month, right? That's as much energy we get, right? I go ahead and take 2,000. That means I'm taking from somebody. So I take 2,000 from this person. So I got 2,000. They got nothing. So now you got a pressure differential. It's to their advantage because now they are strong enough to pull 1,000 from you. You see? And so now you got to spend time trying to hold on to it, right? Because it's hard if you hold on to it because you ain't supposed to have that much, and this person got enough power to take it back from you. And that's what caused revolutions. So they was aristocrats were taking all the energy, all the money, everything, and the poor people had. So that's why they built enough where they was able to take it all back. That's why you have police and all that kind of stuff. Because especially in America, armies and all that kind of stuff, because their purpose is to keep what they stole. But see, the problem is they got to use part of the money they stole to build the force. So it's really a stupid thing to do, because you lose, it's lose all the way around. In other words, you go out there and you stole these people's land. So now America had the greatest military in the world, right? Because they've been stealing from everybody to keep what they've stolen. But now they got to use some of that money they stole to pay for all this military. You see? And so therefore it's draining the resource for everything they stole. Eventually, the military is not going to have enough energy to protect them from other people that's trying to get the stuff back they took from them. So we told to observe a zakat because that keeps that from happening. See? So we maintain a balance. See? Not only that, right? But also, you put these things, remember you got to put these things together. See, with this and the gyroscope, you put those all three together, and that means now you can walk a tightrope and not fall off. See? Because you're firm, right? Current, so you don't have no differentials, no current going from one for the other still. So now you can walk through a tightrope like America with all this bullshit and not fall off. And be firm, walk right through the furnace without being burned, without falling over. See? You observe those three principles. See? And also you're giving form. Always think you're giving form to your new reality. You got to give it form. If you just had energy and you don't do anything with it, you're not giving any form. So now you got energy but no form. So it's just wasted. It's like having money and just putting it in the bank. What good is that? You got to do something with it. See? And so these are the principles to tell you what to do with it, how to use it, right? And start moving forward so you can move effectively forward in time. Because that's what it is. Remember, the whole idea is we're trying to move forward and trying to create time. We're trying to create our future. Because you create time by changing energy one form to another. And these tell you how to do it. These tell you how to give your energy form. So you can move on into the future. Because if you don't have form, right, you're not moving. You can't move into the future because you are the one that's creating your future. So these things allow you to create your future. If you're not doing this, you're not creating your future. You're stuck in the past. These things are teaching you how to control your future. There are 5 fundamental principles of mathematics, 5 fundamental principles of the universe, period. See? The 5 fundamental principles of the universe. And when you understand those, you apply them, now you convert energy from one form to another. That means you move forward in time. That means you create your own paradise, your own reality. The 4th one, they call it fasting, right? See, well, you need to maximize your energy so you can do other things. Remember, so all these connected. Well, you can't do the other things you have no energy. You can't do the other things I just told you if you have no energy. See, you can't do them. So therefore, you need energy to do them. And the more energy you have, the better you can apply them. The more energy you have, the better you can apply them. And that's what fasting is all about. Because the point is that fasting, right? Where's force? What's the principles of force, right? Remember I said spinning energy gives you torque. See? You take and if you want to be stable, right? Then you don't want any currents, you don't want any waves. So therefore, you maintain, you avoid energy differentials, right? By keeping the balance. Everybody has equal. You don't be taking anything from anybody. See? And if you have more, you give it, right? So everybody stay balanced. So all the things work together, right? So then, but all these things depend on how much energy you have. And we were suffering energy deprivation for 50,000 years. Really bad for the last 500 years. But fasting takes, because the force, remember all this is pressure, but force is pressure. And force is mass times acceleration equals force. Mass times acceleration equals force. And see how we put these things together? Because I said everybody has equal. That means everybody has the same amount of force. Everyone has the same amount of force. Everyone has the same amount of force. Let me say it again. Everyone has the same amount of force. See, and that's if you have positive force, that's good luck. Negative force is bad luck. So, for instance, if everybody gets $1,000 a day and you take $1,000 from somebody, you just create $1,000 worth of bad luck for yourself, and you create $1,000 for good luck for the other person. So now good luck is they're going to use that good luck to take that back from you. You understand? That you took from them. So at time you build a dam to hold it back. So long you hold that dam, then I get that day. So now you took another 1,000, right? Now you went 300 days. You got $300,000 that you got from this person, right? And you got a big dam trying to hold it, keep them from getting it. But soon, the force is so great, the current is so great that it breaks that dam down, and then that person is able to get all that back you took from them. See, because you got military and everything trying to hold it, but sooner or later the current the difference so great that you can't, no force you have, right, can maintain it. No, in other words, no force you have can keep it, can allow you to keep it. Let me say it another way. You stealing $1,000 a day. So you went 360 days, you went $306,000 in your stores. You got $306,000 worth of bad luck. But you done got an army and merit. They're taking that money that you're using to build your army and everything to keep that, all that, right? But now you got 360 people out there, right, that's trying to get it back. See? But now, at time about 360, you can't afford enough army or military or security to maintain it. So then it crumbles. Then people take it all back. That's happened in America because everything they was doing, everything's backfiring now. They lost in Vietnam, they lost in Afghanistan because people are taking back. China said, I'm going to take back Taiwan. Russia said, I'm taking back Yugoslavia. I'm not, whatever, right? Well, I can't think of the name right now, right? I don't know why I can't. Anyway, you understand what I'm talking about. See? So that's what happened. So they got to build force to hold on to all that, right? But the people they took it from they strength getting stronger, stronger, stronger. They're going to break down your defense and take it back. And that's why it says the remnant of the people that Gog and Magog had ripped off. Read the scripture. It said the remainder of the people, they're the ones going to take Gog and Magog down, take everything back they took from them. See? So in other words, you can do it as long as you can maintain enough power to prevent people from taking it back. But eventually, the power becomes this. The differentials come so great, the force comes so great that nothing. You can't build enough of power. You can't build enough protection, right, to hold on to it. So the dam breaks. But like I said, you need energy for all of this. All these things work together. And so it's like I said, everybody has equal force. So the definition of force is mass times acceleration. That means mass times acceleration is the same thing as energy, right? But anyway, mass will form energy too. But anyway, but it's how fast something's moving, energy, right? So what happens when you eat? Fasting means you're taking the food to convert to energy, right? So the more food you take, the less energy. The less food, the more energy. That's what fasting is all about. So if you fast 1 meal a day or 1 meal every day, 1 meal every 3 days, you can still take the same amount of calories in. In other words, if you're taking 1,000 calories in the morning, and 1,000 calories in the afternoon, and 1,000 calories in the evening, that's 3,000 calories. But what if you just take 3,000 calories one time a day? It's still getting the same amount of calories, but now, right, because the other 2 times you wouldn't do it, you maximize your energy. So now you have more energy during that period of time. That's what that's all about. Fasting. See, to maximize your energy. If you can eat 1 meal every 3 days, that means you eat 9,000 calories one day. Every 3 days, you still get the same amount of calories. You haven't lost anything. But now look how you maximize your energy for that whole period. See, so now you got more energy to do other things, to maintain yourself, right? To make your salats, right? That's what the torque principle is all about, right? Currents, all these things. You have nothing, study. You see. So that's what that's all about. All these things work together. See? Because you need energy to convert energy from one form to another. To start building your reality. Your new reality. Because right now you build a master's reality which is against you. Because he turns you into a Negro butt and a whole person Negro butt. That's what robots do, right? They build someone else's reality. And that's what you're doing. See? And so now you become the material that they're using to build their reality. See, so in other words, what happened? After so-called slavery, they didn't need us anymore, so they freed us, right? But they used us to build their reality. So we just became the material because we don't have anything. Did we come out of that with anything? No. We was the material they used to build their reality. We wasn't the beneficiaries of it. Okay, that's the fourth one. See. So I'm going more detail on that. I've done other presentations, right? But I'm just trying to understand how you have to take control of your situation, right? And how you move forward in time by transforming energy from one form to another, and how these people don't know what the hell they're talking about because they don't know any of this. They don't know any of this. They can't tell you. These are 5 fundamental principles of Islam. They're the 5 fundamental mathematical principles of Islam. They're the fundamental principles of the universe. The universe rests on these 5 principles. These are 5 principles the universe rests on. That's what I call the 5 pillars. They have no idea. And before I say anything, they had no idea what this is about. They couldn't tell you. Tell them, okay, if Islam is mathematics, and Islam, explain to me the mathematical side of it. They can't. Oh man, well, 2 equals this, and 7 equals the Supreme Court, and 8. Don't about that bullshit. It's numerology, not mathematics. So I'm just showing you the mathematics behind. They can't do it. They never done it. They have no documentation of it. Farrakhan never talks about it because he's not a mathematician. He don't know anything. He probably don't know what. He probably thinks 2 + 3 is 23. We're talking about philosophies and everything. Demons have no idea, but he's a demon. His father's the devil. If you don't believe it, do a Google search on him, on his bio. It says right there his father's name, Percival Clark, and in most cases it shows you a picture. He's a devil. Okay, the last one, harmony. See, now that's another fundamental principle. See, when you put something under enough pressure, right? See, because under pressure that's chaotic, but you put enough pressure, right? Then it takes on harmony. It switches to another whole different dynamic There's harmony. See? So everything's going insane. There's no conflict anymore. Because in other words, if you got cars, say for instance, you got an intersection, all cars come in the intersection at the same time, it's chaos. But what if all of a sudden they all line up and they start going one all together down the road behind each other? There's no pressure there. See? They're getting where they're going. That's harmony. So they got rid of pressure, all the collision and stuff, no collision. Everybody's moving at 20, 50 miles an hour, right behind each other. There's no collisions, nothing. There's harmony. But you have to put some enough pressure to achieve that. And that's what the pilgrim is all about, you know. The Hajj. So another way is when you're going out here and you're telling people the truth about Abrahamic covenant, telling them the truth about mathematics and everything else, and they listen, you're creating harmony because now they're in tune with you. They're not in conflict with you anymore. Because right now the whole world is in conflict with us. Our whole nation is in conflict with us. So we have to achieve harmony. We have to put so much pressure on them that they see how you put pressure. You put more. You keep on putting this knowledge on them because it's going to affect their minds. See, because their minds taking information, the brain's taking information, but the brain can only make a decision based on the information it has. So if they're giving bad information, they're going to get bad decisions. And right now, the devil's been controlling our information flow. That's why we're thinking bad, we're acting bad, we're doing bad. We're not sinful people, but the point is we're acting based on information they've been giving us. And so therefore, that's the only thing you can make decisions on, information you're given. But now you out here, you got those brothers and sisters that's telling the truth out there, that's getting in, this is penetrating. And it's right now, soon you got, they're starting to recognize a conflict between what they've been told and what they're now hearing. And sooner or later, their brain's going to sort that out. And when that happens, right, then when you start comparing good water to dirty water, before long you're going to realize, and especially if the good water is free, you understand, you ain't going to be drinking that dirty water anymore. So that's why we're doing. We got here and we creating harmony. Because every time you get someone to understand, the angel will start applying it, right? Then you're in harmony with them. See? And we're going to achieve universal harmony as far as our nation is concerned. Because we're going home, we have harmony. We won't have police force. We won't have any confusion, all this voting, all that crap. We won't have that. We won't have confusion. Because everybody will be on a mathematical standard. And when you have a mathematical standard, the only agreement you can have is based on qualitative disagreement, not quantitative disagreements. Nobody's going to disagree with you that 5 plus 3 is 8. There's no, but they may say, well, they may be a qualitative qualitative difference where they say, well, I like 2 plus 6. I like 1 plus 7. See, I like 9 minus 1. It's still 8. See, but there's no be no fight there because you just have, I like chocolate cake, I like vanilla cake. See, so you ain't gonna tell them, well, you got to have vanilla cake. You got to see it that way. No, because we all have different. We all gonna see it differently. See, we're all gonna see it differently from different perspectives. We're all gonna see it from different perspectives, but that don't mean it's wrong. See, we're all gonna see it right, but just from different perspectives. See, so I'm gonna say it's 6 plus 2. You're gonna say it's 5 plus 3. It's still 8. So it'd be a qualitative disagreement because we're different. We see it from different perspectives. But there won't be a quantitative difference. That's what causes confusion, causes fights and things. You understand, brothers and sisters? See? So you go out there and keep on telling the people the truth. And like I said, and every time someone finally makes that fool, because see, you tell them, but as soon as you start telling them, it's like something making a rotation. So in other words, you tell them something and it moves them 1 degree in your direction. And you keep telling them they move 2 degrees in your direction and 3 degrees in your direction. They still ain't going in your direction, but they're going 3 degrees. They're still 357 degrees in the other direction, but they're moving, right? And eventually you get 9 degrees, man, they start getting, and then eventually you get 360 degrees, you got them. They're with you. You got harmony. But you got to keep on telling. Because every time you tell them, if you don't stop doing it, then they're going to stop rotate. So you got them up to 30 degrees, then you stop. See? But the enemy ain't stopping, so they quickly evaporate that 30 degrees. Just like Farrakhan did. Elijah Muhammad had gotten 360 degrees. Farrakhan came and put it back down to 0. See? You understand, brothers and sisters? See? So if they can't tell you the mathematicals I mean, I'm showing you the mathematical principles, the base, the pillars of it that Islam rests on. See, all these things are fundamental mathematical concepts. Harmony is a mathematical concept. I just told you what it is. Fasting, mass times celebration equals force, right? See, mass times energy, that you can say that away, right? Currents. All these are fundamental, torque. All these are fundamental consequence. What? How basic math can you get that? What's on one side equal sign, on the other side equal sign? What can be more basic than that? That's justice, consequence. 5 plus 3 equals 6 plus 2. It's still equal. That's why there's no conflict. There's just both equal. So there's no conflict. There's just a matter of, right, of quantity. I mean, quality, not quantity. You understand, brothers and sisters? So that's the Hajj, harmony. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to leave it there. Let's go ahead. Let's get it fine. See, that's the Hajj there. See? No conflict, anything. All this is Islam. That's what all those things over there mean, but they don't know it. They don't see it from a mathematical point of view. They see it from some scriptural, some metaphysical point of view. We're going to change all that. It's all. I'm showing you the mathematics. You apply this mathematics, and then you start transforming energy from one form to another. You start creating your own paradise, right? You start building your room on Master Muhammad's foundation. See, because that's going to be the promise in Arabia. And you have, is room reserved for you, brothers and sisters? If you don't want it, then we'll just have another brother and sister take. So they have 2 rooms. There's room for all of you, all 17 million. There's room for all 17 million. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. There's room for all of you. But if you don't want it, then that's more for us. Like I said, you divide the energy of how many people there are. So if there's 1 billion people on the planet, then we divide the energy by 1 billion. If there's 100, we divide it by 100. That means the less, the more. So if you don't want to return, you want to stay on this false American dream and everything, fine. Then you provide the material that we use to build our new reality. You understand? And so if you don't want to, if you don't want to take your room, I said room 17 million mansions, you don't want it, then the rest of us have 5 mansions, 10 mansions. Let me talk to my brothers and sisters. Let me talk to my hold on, brothers and sisters. Let me talk to my audio audience. This is the Black Alert segment of the Fire Zone. Fire Zone out. And to you, brothers and sisters, at the video segment. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.